What up, bosses? Your man MVR bringing you some more kick-ass Overwatch gameplay today, playing as the tanky Winston. It's been requested by a few of you bosses if I could play this ape-ass gorilla who throws bananas at people and then eats them alive. He doesn't really, but how cool that would be. If he just had like a big banana and planted in their brain and just ate their brain out. That would be pretty sick, but I think Overwatch would probably be like rated 18 instead of PG or whatever it is at the moment in time. But nonetheless, so Winston is a big ass gorilla. You may have seen him in the cinematic. Overwatch released a cinematic about a month ago. It was absolutely badass, and it's how Overwatch forms and how it all sort of comes about. Really cool. I'd recommend checking it out. Just type Overwatch cinematic in YouTube and you'll be able to find it. Blizzard certainly know how to make some cinematics for sure. And it'd be really cool to see when the game comes out if they make some more. And obviously they're working on the lore, which I don't necessarily follow the lore in games, but it certainly adds a nice feeling to it. So anyway, in today's game mode, basically what we have to do, we are the defenders. We have to defend this objective A. If the enemy team capture point A, it will then spawn this car, and then the car moves forward as long as the enemy's pushing with it, whilst we can actually push it back. They get certain checkpoints, they get additional time, and the idea is to get it to the end of the path, end of the certain roadmap, or whatever you want to call it. But when they get it there, they win. If they don't get in there in the alleged time, then they lose. Simple as that. So Winston is my man. He probably is my favourite tank, purely because he's quite mobile. Unlike Reinhardt, who we did a video of earlier and facing off against here, who certainly can tank a lot of damage because of his shield, and does a lot of damage with his melee weapon once he's actually on top of that big ass mace he's got. Winston does take quite a while to kill someone, but he's really mobile. So my left shift, basically what it does is a big ass jump. He has a jump pack on the back of him, and you can literally leap some distance. You can see me jumping quite a bit in this, but not necessarily to the extent of what you can do. You can actually jump over buildings on some of the maps, which is really cool. Jump to high ledges, use it to escape, and also use it really well with your ultimate as well. Which I'll bring out some more gameplay if you guys are interested in seeing, and try and show you a bit more of the actual jumping, as this map's kind of a bit more closer. It's not so open compared to other maps. I didn't really make the most use out of it, but still kick ass nonetheless. My next ability is my ultimate, or it's my main ability. As soon as we're using it now, we may as well talk about this. It's called Primal Rage. So for the next sort of 8 seconds, I get 1,000 health. Normally I'm around about 525 health. I get 1,000, and I just go pure rage, and your melee attacks actually push the enemies back, which in some cases, I don't know if I actually like the ultimate or not. Like, sure, you come tanky and you do some additional damage with your big ass monkey clobbering hands, but I do find that half the time I end up knocking the opponents away and not doing any favours, which could be nice if you actually jump behind the team and knock them into your team if your team are following you up. And that's what you really need when you're playing a tank, I find, on this game. Like, I feel Winston, I could probably solo kill anyone, but to be making the big plays, you really need your team. It's a team game, you know, you need your team, you really need that support there with you, as there was a support in here. I'm not sure which the healer is, but there's a real badass here me and my buddy were playing with, and she can heal you for days, and if you got damage behind you as well, you're just going to wreck. But like I say, it's having that team synergy. You certainly, I think this game is going to work really better if you're pre-made, you're on TeamSpeak or Skype or something, and you can kick ass that way. But you can see the damage Winston does do when he gets on top of a champion. My final ability, which I haven't, or my bar than my weapon, the other ability I have is my barrier projector. Basically, you chuck this big barrier down, this is your E ability, and it creates a big force field that you and your allies can go in, and it deflects a lot of damage. Really good against ranged champions. Once someone gets in there, they will do additional damage to you though, and it lasts for a few seconds. It depends on how quickly the enemy team are able to destroy the shield, but really nice, and allows you to jump in there, chuck the barrier down, even use it for, say, defending points when you and your team want to protect something. So really cool. I really like it. I think Winston's one of the stronger tanks at the moment. Just pure his mobility is so nice, how you can actually like leap over buildings, leap behind your opponents, getting in there to give you the positional advantage, and then allowing you and your team to set up plays. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Winston for sure. So at the moment, yeah, we've got 2 5 kill streaks, which is pretty nice. One champion, I'm not sure if that was the Reaper just then. He's the champion I struggle against the most is Winston. Reaper really does a lot of upfront damage, and if you just charge into him recklessly, he will probably like 3-4 shot you. You don't want to mess with the Reaper. So here you can see, look at that leap range there, how I actually was able to leap all that distance and up into there to get the high ground, dropping down, able to actually contest a point as the enemy team were about to take it. We do pick off someone, but unfortunately with the Reaper there, again, like you say, he makes light work, and as you can see here, just as we were talking about him. There he is. Absolutely meshes you. His upfront damage is huge. Unfortunately, even though we were able to contest it, my team went there, and they've now actually secured the payload. So, or unleashed the payload, they haven't secured it just yet. So they've now got 5 minutes to get it to the next checkpoint, which you can see if you look up the actual on the screen where it says stop the payload. There's 2 little white dots. They have to get it to that second one, and then they get a little bit of a time upgrade, and then if they get to the final one, they complete it. So our idea now is to stop this from moving. If the enemy team are there, it's going to push forward. Whilst we're here, we actually will hold it in place, and we can push it back if there's enough of us. There's no enemies to contest it either, which is really nice. Again, the thing is, I really just need that sort of team behind you, and it makes a big difference having a healer. Like, I really do enjoy playing the tank on this. It's cool, but I do find a lot of the time, you know, your team, there's just not really any team synergy where people really don't know what they're doing. You know, me included. You kind of go off and do your own thing, and next thing you know, you haven't got the healer there. Because it's not unlike, say, Halo or even Call of Duty in some sense, even though you don't necessarily have as much HP as you do in COD. But there's no healing. In COD you heal over time, Halo you heal over time, on this you don't heal over time, unless you pick up one of those health packs, and then there's not all that many about really. I guess once you start actually knowing the maps, like some of the maps I kind of know where they do spawn, so it makes my life a little bit easier to go up and get them, but you still have to, you know, run out, and it takes you maybe 10 or 20 seconds to actually find one, and sometimes, especially if you're playing a tank, you might only find a small one which heals you for 100, the biggest one heals for 200, which might not even be enough, but they do spawn reasonably quick when you do find them, but it, like I say, it makes a big difference having that healer without any sort of included healing. Which I don't mind, you know, I like it the way it is, but it's just, you know, like, we have to have that synergy to have your proper sort of team comp, and that's why team comps are really important as well, and that's why I'd like to see, hopefully when they do, they include the ranked, that you'll be able to pick and ban champions, and also certain people, you know, you maybe say similar to League of Legends where you go into a game and you select the roles you want to play. I feel that needs to be on this. In the more competitive play, I don't mind a play like this where it's just kind of, I guess in some sense, blind pick, but it'd be nice for the competitive side not to have dual champions either. I don't like the idea that you can switch your champions. I guess I don't necessarily mind it in this, but I feel it needs a game mode, and I think ranked would be the best way to do it, where you can't switch, or you can't play, you definitely shouldn't be able to have the same champion, and also then again, that to make that there, I think that you shouldn't be able to switch champions in games. Oh, it kind of just takes away that whole sort of phase. It's only like a 6-7 minute game, you know, you pick a champion you want, you're going for a tank, that's all you need, you know. I don't really agree that you should be sort of switching in between. That's my kind of thoughts on it, you know. I think they should keep it the way it is, but just have a separate game mode, preferably being ranked, to do it like that. And it'd be cool to see how they do it ranked now. Obviously with Blizzard being owned by Activision have done, I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time, but I have seen they've added like tournaments into COD, and you have league tables and stuff with the ranked gameplay. So something like that would be really cool on this, because it is a competitive game, and it'd be nice. It'd be cool as well if they could add like a highlight mode similar to COD. I think that would be pretty cool. I have noticed that they do have a sort of a highlight mode that shows you like the last 4 big plays from certain champs. So it'd be cool if they could do something a bit more on that, maybe like an editor where you can actually edit the clips and upload it to YouTube. Again, just follow on the same sort of suit as COD, you know. I think that's where it needs to sort of be competing against, and by adding in stuff where you can actually edit your clips. With, you know, at the end of the game, you have the play of the game or whatever, and stuff like that. Being able to edit that into actually cool little clips, I think would be so badass. But you can see here that once Winston really does get on top of someone here, it's badass. Just keep looking around and keep just going in and out, leap away, go around, get a couple health packs. Now here I can see that they're about to progress, and now my ultimate's up. With my shield, just my force field being back, I drop that down. You can see it zaps them down, just leap in there, pop my ultimate, and easily taking out that noob. And with 10 seconds left, we're able to hold it off and make pretty light work here. Again, like, you can make those leaps. I kind of misjudged that, but the leap, that's just what I just love about Winston, is his mobility. The fact he can leap so far, leap over buildings, leap behind opponents. It just makes for a lot of big plays and makes him probably my favourite tank. And then I'd guess it'd be Reinhardt, and I do enjoy Hot Rod, whatever his name, Rod Hot, the big fat dude. I'll probably try and bring some gameplay out of him. He's got a hook and he's able to bring your opponents into you. He's got a little heal. But I think Winston and Reinhardt are my 2 favourites at the moment in time. So we're going for the player boss to play. They didn't really actually know what happened there, to be honest. It didn't look that badass. Should have checked me in there. But anyway, bosses, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take it easy and have a good day. Peace.
volume.